We are live. Hey there. Hi, I'm Dave Flores, and we're on the set right now of the Roundtable Friends, and we're in beautiful Vista, California. The nation's most temperate climate is Vista, California, and it's probably the highest rent district too, right?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
We're all paying our dues out here in Southern California. But basically, we're all about North County. Welcome to the Roundtable Friends. North County of San Diego, as you know, is big. It's got a lot of people, 1.3 million at the last count. That's between Oceanside on the coast and Escondido inland and all those areas around it. So we have some news we want to go through, and we have also want to comment about some of our upcoming events in the area. First thing we want to do is kind of mourn a little bit about a great pizza tradition that is no longer with us, and that is Vin's. And Vin's restaurant closed in late February after almost 20 years of operation on Grand Avenue in Escondido. And Vin's had, awesome pizzas and Italian food. I used to host the trivia there on Tuesdays. Was there for over 100 weeks in a row.
Wow.
I know. People, we had a great time over there. And a little bit later, we'll tell you more about Quiz Show Mania, which is one of the sponsors of the show that we're doing. So we're live here on YouTube. Right now we're on North County TV News Channel. So at any rate, I want to thank Vinny and Michelle Griffin, the owners of Vin's Restaurant, for their wonderful service and all the great times we've had there, and wish them the best in the future, definitely. Now, I have to flip on this. Bear with me, because we're live. Okay. This is like the old days. It's live, you fool. At any rate, first thing we're going to talk about, serious news here, is I was on the wrong page, by the way. Vince wasn't supposed to be first, I confess. Okay. What we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to talk about the Senate Bill 58 in the California legislature, okay? What they're proposing, besides higher taxes in California, which we're just getting killed, is, and by the way, we voted against the repeal of the gas tax. Nice going, folks. I mean, it's up over $3.50 a gallon, and it's going upward. At any rate, for some reason, we voted that down.
Just today, they told us by summer it should be $5 a gallon. People at the gas station told us that.
Really? Mm-hmm. $5 a gallon by summer?
Yeah.
Yep.
Really? Now, I hope I've been not reticent in introducing these two young ladies here with me, because this is Amy here, and this is Melissa. Okay, and at any rate, so they're saying $5, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, you guys. I don't know if you're going to be able to make it out here or not. If you're from out of the area, rent is high, gas is high. Okay. At any rate, so our wonderful legislature in California has Senate Bill 58 right now that they're considering. Here's what they're proposing. Ready? Okay. They're proposing instead of the bars closing at 2 a.m., how about 4 a.m.? I mean, why not just camp out and stay all night, 4 a.m., give me a break. At any rate, not everybody's going for this, but they're proposing to do this in several counties around the state, including Los Angeles, San Francisco, Fresno, and others. I won't bore you with the details. Now, the thing is, the San Diego County Police Chiefs and Sheriffs Association doesn't like the idea. And the police chief from Chula Vista is Roxana Kennedy. And she says, we don't want this to happen. Because, why? Because, first of all, there'd be more DUIs. This is like all the way to 4 a.m. drinking now, okay? There'll be more crashes, injuries, and deaths. And so our San Diego County police chiefs and sheriffs say, no, don't keep the bars open until 4 a.m. in California. And I'm glad that we have some, it just doesn't sound like a good idea.
No, people drink too much as is.
I mean, 2 a.m. is still pretty late.
Yeah, I mean.
Or early, depends how you look at it. What do you think, Melissa?
Well, how did that even become a thing? Like, how did it become possible for that to even be?
Well, that's our
that
legislature. Those are our lawmakers that we are electing to the state government. And they're saying, hey, guys, we got a great idea here.
There should be no reason why somebody should be able to drink all night long and then expect them to go out into the streets and do anything productive or safe or...
Right. So,
I mean, I know some of the nicest people in the world that when they drink, they become angry, they become depressed, they become violent.
Well, there's also happy drunks.
Yeah, they're stupid, silly, flirty, but I'm not willing to run the risk of the violent,
hey, you don't want them driving
either.
whether they're happy or they're not, right? Especially, okay. Well, at any rate, so that's from our local North County news desk. We wanted to share that with you. And of course, anybody out there listening, if you don't like the idea, let our local representative know about it. But our sheriffs and police are on our side there. Okay, that's another one. All right, now, I had mentioned VINs, and of course, we're going to skip over that, right? Because we did talk about that. Hey, but coming up next, Cruisin' Grand. Cruisin' Grand.
It's this Friday, isn't it?
It's this Friday, April 5th, 5 o'clock. Be there. But the thing is, again, poor Vins, because they were right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
And, again, so. But Cruisin' Grand is one of the largest and longest running car show events in the U.S. It goes for 6 months.
Right.
That's a long time. So starting April 5th, we're going to have 6 months of this every Friday on Grand Avenue in Escondido. So if you're in North County anywhere, or even San Diego City or whatever, they come from all over. It's a big deal. We're hoping to be able to live stream there at some point. We'll let you know if we can do that, when we're going to do that. And maybe share it with people that don't live in North County, because after all, we're on the internet. They could be watching in New York for all we know. Okay, so that's, we wanted to make sure you were aware of that. Our next subject is a horrible one. It's an awful nightmare of a murder on the coast in Carlsbad. And that, as you can see, there's a headline there. What I wanted to talk to you girls about was that this murder was done with a woman who was living alone by two homeless people that were on parole from Los Angeles for burglary, breaking and entering. So they were arrested, apparently, and then on, quote, parole, whatever that means, because they were living in a homeless encampment adjacent to this housing tract in Carlsbad where this lady was murdered. Now, as a dude, I tend to think, man, they may have cased the place. I mean, if they're hanging out within sight of this place, these houses, maybe they saw there was a single woman, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, for some reason they picked that house.
Maybe even thought she wasn't going to be home at the time, and
Maybe
then that day she was.
It's just hard to say. So at any rate, they went in, and apparently whatever happened, she ended up with over 50 stab wounds. She lived long enough to get to her phone and call 911. That was it. Meanwhile, these two folks in their blood-drenched clothing got into her car and left. This was after midnight, by the way. So they find the car and they find these people. And of course, they're pleading not guilty. It's their right to do so. But what I wanted to ask you is, or just comment to you is, a single woman living alone should probably have at least a dog.
Yeah, a single woman living alone it's just not safe. You should have a big old pit bull or some mastiff or something living with you.
Well, I mean, at least there would have been a warning for her. It's just horrible to think of what happened, and our thoughts and prayers are with her and her family. That was just a horrible thing, but, let's just move on. Anybody out there, any single women, I would suggest strongly that you do at least something in the way of security or warning, because anything can happen. This is in Carlsbad, by the way.
Yeah, very close to us.
And Carlsbad is a very nice area, and it's been very conservative, secure, sort of has a German heritage to it. The big windmill, Tip Top Meats. Great German butcher. Good man.
Well, when an intruder comes in like that, I would think you definitely have the right to defend yourself, and I would have an opinion as far as if you had to use a firearm to, save your own life.
Someone breaks
That's
into your house,
necessary.
you by law have every right to
That's my opinion.
retaliate.
Especially living alone too. I mean,
Whatever
Well,
you
yeah.
have.
if it's your life or theirs, and you have to protect yourself, and you're being attacked, I mean, that's my opinion. I think they're.
We have the right to bear arms
Yeah.
for that reason.
That's a good point. The last thing we want is to have our arms removed.
'Cause criminals are going to get them one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah,
have the law-abiding citizens
Well, the thing
will
is,
not be able
if
to.
they outlaw guns, guess who's going to have the guns?
Yeah.
The criminals. I mean,
Because
you
they're
don't really
always
get
going to be there,
anywhere.
and there's going to be some
Yeah,
way to get them.
you don't get anywhere with it.
And again, the fact that she had no. Well, as far as we know, she wasn't alerted right away. I mean, a dog would have been barking or growling, or,
Right.
given her
And
some
she probably
kind of
could have
warning.
called. I mean, the police don't mind if you call them, say my dog is, tell me there's somebody in the house, rather than needing to go check it out herself first.
Right.
If it was midnight, she's probably asleep and heard them and
Right.
came down to check it out and
And
confronted
that's
them.
2-on-1.
Probably
We
why
all-
she got
right.
attacked.
Well, we all need to be thinking about safety. And I think also that these homeless encampments, this is just a personal note, I don't think they should be adjacent to housing areas. In other words, yes, we want to take care of the homeless. Yes, we want to help those.
So you're saying you think law enforcement should force them to move somewhere else?
Well, I just think the cities should have an area that encourages, at least so you know where they are, and they're not sitting around looking at, housing tracts and watching people's, whereabouts. That's all. I just don't think they should be mixed in with your standard housing, because after all, they are homeless. Now,
Well,
if the city has a place for them, tents, whatever, I mean, we need to help them. I think everybody agrees with that. But this just brings to light some of the things that I think need to be considered. But that's just
Yes.
me and my big mouth,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
And on another note, people are going to be people. They don't necessarily have to be a homeless person. I mean, it could be a neighbor.
Oh yeah, this
doing
could have
some
happened.
Crazy acts.
That's
or
true. I don't want to
a
just say
random
homeless people do
individual.
this. You're right.
Just-
You're right.
So it's always
It
good
could have
to
been
be on the
anybody.
lookout for anybody.
Could have been
Yeah.
anybody. Right. All right. So we're going to move on now to another topic, and this one is a political one. And this is called the Convention of States. Now, the Convention of States, by the way, is conventionofstates.com. Conventionofstates.com. A lot of people say, well, what is that? Convention of States. What does it mean? Here's something that I think will help explain this to you. And this is from Senator Tom Coburn, U.S. Senator from Oklahoma. And he wrote this to kind of explain what it is. And he says, the only solution big enough to confront our federal problems is the tool for constitutional amendment provided to our state legislatures in Article 5 of the Constitution. He further goes on, the time is now for the states to band together to pass the Convention of States resolution, which sets the agenda for a meeting of the states to draft proposed amendments that will impose fiscal restraints on Washington. In other words, how much they can borrow in deficit. It will limit its power and its jurisdiction, the federal government that is, and set term limits on federal officials. So you don't have these guys hanging out for 50 years. They're so powerful that they can do whatever they want and they seem to be above the law. That's the impression we get. The beauty of this, he goes on to say, the beauty of this constitutional process is that we, the people, have the final say in approving proposed amendments.
It's about
Now,
time.
It is, but only proposals that are ratified by 3/4 of the states, which are obviously supported by overwhelming majority of Americans, become part of the Constitution. So it's not a back or an end run or a back door to get the Constitution changed. I mean, think about it. 3/4 of the states have to get in on this. So at any rate, it does take 34 states to actually call a convention. So you got, now they're up to, I think, over 15, maybe closing in on 20 by now. They've been at this a few years, obviously. And I hope on a future program to bring some of the representatives to really get into it, deep. But at any rate, they're out there, they're working on it. The convention, 34 states have to call the convention, then you have it, and then you need 38 states to ratify any changes that they make. So, it's going to take a long time to get this done. But I think it is, in fact, very important that the federal government, especially the fiscal restraints. Right now, we're doing what? Over $1 trillion and some plus per year deficit. You younger people are going to be faced with that more than us older people, because these $1 trillion plus deficits are going yearly and they're aggregating. I believe they're 20 trillion plus now. I mean, that's a lot of money, folks. That's 20,000 millions.
Yeah.
and they're saying, this is money we don't have. We're spending that we don't have.
How are we ever going to pay that back?
Well, hopefully we'll be able to with a growing economy and over time. But at any rate, that's what the Convention of the States is all about. So I hope we've given you some news, and hopefully it's worthy of your time to listen to this. Now, I do want to talk about the Small Business Roundtable. The Small Business Roundtable is a program that we are inviting small business people in the North County of San Diego to participate in. To do so, we would like you to contact us. And we have a board up to show you if you'd like to contact us. theroundtablefriends.com. Just give us the name of your business and your contact on that site, and we'll be happy to talk to you about that. Small Business Roundtable is going to be a future program. So that's good. Okay, well, on the lighter side, that was a lot of heavy stuff.
Yeah.
4 a.m.
Let's
drinking.
talk about something happy.
Yeah, let's have some happy talk. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about animal housekeeping. So now let's go into our animal housekeeping segment. All right. So we're back now talking about animals and animal housekeeping. Does that mean the animal keeps the house clean?
Unfortunately, no.
Ugh.
They try and help, but just get in the way.
Animal housekeeping. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to introduce Melissa. Melissa is right here, and Melissa has a background with the Escondido Humane Society, and she's, I must confess that this is my daughter, okay? I know, the truth had to come out. But here's the thing. When she was young, I remember her pets. I remember a big white rat on her shoulder. She had rats. She had, I believe, rabbits.
No.
No, not rabbits? How about guinea pigs?
No.
What?
What did you
Well,
have,
what was it? It
Melissa?
was big and it was furry.
I don't remember. It's too long
Okay.
ago.
But I do remember the cats.
Yes.
And at one point, now remember, I'm your dad talking, so I remember counting 13 cats at one point. But it was in a big house. They had a big two-story house and a huge yard and all that. So it wasn't, you know.
Most of those were strays that just came to eat.
And
They
that's
weren't
the
really
thing, the stray cats,
inside.
you know. She can't turn down stray cats. So I think when she went to the Humane Society for, I believe, over 8 years, she would befriend a lot of these animals. And we're going to get into that.
I
Now,
do know most of Melissa's animals are animals she was fostering, intending to return, and never did.
Aha, all right, just couldn't do it. Now, I also want to introduce over here at the round table, this is Amy. And Amy also has a background in the Humane Society.
13 years.
13 years, wow. And you get to know the animals pretty well at that point.
Yep, they're like yours, and sometimes you're happy when they get a new home, going to a new home, but then you're like, sometimes, no, don't adopt them. I love them too much.
Yeah, it must be hard, especially when you see these cases coming into the Humane Society that, you know, you can't help but maybe, you know, feel a little bit of sympathy and wanting to take care of these animals and make sure that they get a home. Well, okay, so we've got a lot of cats to go through here. So if you're a cat person, you're going to love this. If you're a dog person, maybe not. But your dog can watch and bark at them. Okay. So let's roll to, first of all, Melissa's Pudge. Now, on the screen you see Pudge, and there's 2 shots of Pudge. One is kind of a beauty shot, as Melissa would say, and the other shot is what did you call it? The shrimp. What did you call that? Where they lay down and curl their legs?
That's what you call it, the shrimp pose when they're asleep and they do little.
You don't have any photos of that.
Oh, I don't?
Yeah, no.
What's the one where he was laying down
With his paws up?
with his paws up?
That's dead bunny pose.
Oh, what's it called?
Dead bunny.
Dead bunny. Dead bunny. Okay, that must be an inside joke, folks.
Not
Dead
really,
bunny
literally.
pose.
It's just the way they lay. So.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's talk about Pudge for a minute. How did Pudge come into your life?
He was actually a birthday gift for Brianna.
Your daughter, right, okay. My granddaughter, by the way.
So, yep, she picked him out at the Humane Society.
Great.
Yeah, she got to have her pick.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, probably her, I want to say her 13th birthday.
Okay.
That was
And
6
she's
years
17.
ago.
She's going to be 18 soon. So,
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
Well, Pudge is,
a while ago.
it's a fitting name for Pudge because he's, I guess, a little bit pudgy. Would you say? Okay.
Second only to Mitch.
All right. Okay, now we have another cat. This one is more wild coming up. This is another of Melissa's cats. This one is Chloe. Chloe. That's an unusual name. She seems a little bit wild, and she has an exotic name. How did Chloe enter the picture?
She was originally a foster, but she had 2 surgeries. She had to go under anesthesia twice. Because after her first surgery, she got an infection as a kitten, And so she had to go back into the surgery room, and they had to clean out the infection and stuff. And so she had 2 surgeries basically, and then I asked to foster her while she recovered from the surgery, and she was just a little kitten at the time. So
The rest
Yep.
is history, as they say,
yeah.
right?
She makes it clear she loves only you.
Yeah, Chloe's kind of a little wild, isn't she?
She's a one-person cat.
Some cats are that way.
Yeah.
I know that I was getting lulled into thinking, she was looking at me so sweet. I thought, oh, Chloe. And just came at me. So, and that happened to you too, right?
Yes, yes. So just trying to pet her, giving her treats, and turns around and tries to bite me.
Ay, ay, ay. At any rate, but she's very loyal, right, Melissa? And she's very, very pretty and very, you
She's
know,
like a dog in many ways.
a bit of the
she
wild
gets into
side.
the trash, or she'll.
Oh, boy.
She loves car rides, which is unusual for a cat. Say that right now.
Yes, really?
Yep. That picture you have, one of the pictures you have, she's in the car, totally relaxed.
Wow.
So,
Yeah,
in
we
the
didn't
back
have
as
that
well.
picture on the screen, but I did have one where she was up
One
on
that
a.
you have.
That I have.
That you showed on the screen, yeah.
Okay. Now
She's
there's
in the
another
car.
one where I believe she's up on like a window, like on a wall,
Mm-hmm.
up in a little compartment up there,
Yeah, it's like a shelf.
a shelf. So she'd even do that. She'd go
she
up
likes
to
to
the shelf.
be up high. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
All
So
right.
that's
Well, that's
Chloe in a nutshell.
there's Chloe. Now we're going to go to it's Amy's turn now, because we have a third cat. This one is Puss in Boots.
Yes.
Now Puss in Boots has that cute little hat and everything.
That was her last St. Patrick's Day.
Ah, St. Patty's Day.
And most of the time, I do not think cats should be wearing clothes, but Puss in Boots is very tolerant of it. And just for a picture, she's very photogenic. So
She is. Cutest little cat. So how did Puss in Boots end up with you?
it was actually Easter Sunday. We showed up at church, and this little boy ran up to me with this little 7-week-old kitten, skin and bones, just listless and starving to death. And he said, "I found her behind the church, and I don't know what to do with her." And gave her to me and nursed her back to health from 7 weeks old, just
Oh, neat.
a little bit at a time.
Now, how old is she now?
She's 14.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still going
Old
strong.
14
cat.
years or 14 months?
14 years.
Wow.
14 years.
Now, how does the cat years translate to human years, or do they? That's a tough
As
question.
on an average, it is 7 years, but a cat will be in its teens by its first year.
Wow.
They will act like a kitten until they're about 2, but they don't really mature and start putting on a lot of weight until they're about 2 years old. But
So-
they grow very quickly in their early years and slow down in their later years. But if you want to average it, it's about 7 years for each one of
For
ours.
each cat year. So 7 times how many years?
14.
14 times 7? That cat is 80,
She's old.
90. Oh, my.
She's the age of my grandma.
And she still drinks on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh no, we
Just
are
kidding.
we are the sober Irish.
Oh, my. Yeah, what a sweet cat. All right, now we've got another cat named Woogie. This time it's a little bit long. Hang in there, folks, but we're going to watch Woogie, and we have a special thing to tell you after this video clip of what happened to Woogie. Okay? So let's go ahead and roll Woogie. All right, Woogie, go.
I understand you might be scared, but
Keep it in a tight circle. Go.
behind bars and you'd be safe in your home. I can't give you imagine what you're going through right now.
Good circles.
He's got a job. He's taking care of you. He's doing the right thing.
Woogie. Get it, Woogie, go.
Nickname an alias, what the street calls him.
Woogie. Get him to attack punch. No.
a video with kittens with this thing.
Yeah. I warned you that that was a little bit long, huh? But at any rate, you notice how Woogie was really spinning after that little red laser pointer. But unfortunately, what happened later, Melissa, is Woogie lost one of his legs, his front paws. And will you tell us just briefly how that happened?
He got attacked outside. And
It was at night, right?
it was at night.
He jumped
Yeah,
a fence.
I was not aware he was out because most of my cats, or all my cats, are in by dark.
Right.
But yeah, I basically found him in the morning by my steps, and he was limping on his left foreleg, and he couldn't put any weight on it. So the vet that I was working for at the time, she told me about an organization called the FACE Foundation, and it's a nonprofit organization.
The FACE?
The FACE Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization that goes strictly on donations. And what they do is, the vet that I worked for told me about this. This is how I knew, which was really amazing because at the time I was having a very financial hardship. And so I applied for funds to have Wuggy treated at the vet and, you know, looked at and diagnosed and everything. And I did qualify. He ended up needing his foreleg amputated. And that was close to right around a $5,000 surgery that was paid for by generous donors of San Diego County.
Wow.
So.
That's great.
But yeah, you have to prove your financial hardship.
Right.
But they're there for your pet because the other option for Wuggy would have been euthanasia.
Oh my.
Had he not had that surgery. So.
Oh wow. And you see how beautiful that cat is. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's only 3.
what kind of cat is he? He's got that real fluffy hair.
He's a ragdoll mix with some Siamese.
A ragdoll mixed with some Siamese?
Yeah.
He's the sweet ragdoll, not the standoffish Siamese.
Yeah. Yeah, he's...
Sounds like a girlfriend I used to have. Just kidding, just kidding. Well, that's interesting. You know, and there's a lot of, these two know a lot about, you know, about animals. They really do. And I think that it's great to be able to share that information with people too, in case they have a hardship with the animals.
It's faceforpets.org.
Faceforpets.org. Jot that one down. Okay. Well, okay, we have one more cat coming up, and this one is Mitch.
He's the most handsome cat ever.
You know, now I want folks at home, please take a look at this cat carefully. Look at his face. Look at the expression. Now, from my background, I look at Mitch and I'm thinking, like a stately British, very well, you know, groomed, I say, you know, old chap, blah, blah. I mean, I see him almost like in the House of Commons. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. All right. But
See him in the courts.
Yeah, in the court.
Like a king's cat.
Yes, he just has this look of authority somehow. And very serious. Now, I know I'm expounding on this, Melissa, but he's your cat, so you tell us about Mitch.
Well, again, he was just another foster kitten that I had for a while. He's my last one because I finally told my work to not foster any more animals to me because I just can't handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got quite the personality. He's actually quite playful when he's in the mood, but he's also very serious. He's very serious. He always has a very serious look.
He does, doesn't he?
His favorite time of the day is dinner, though.
Yeah, he doesn't miss any meals.
Yeah.
And he's
I don't
also
either.
he's very close to Pudge. They're like brothers.
So we started out with Pudge. We ended up with Mitch.
Yeah.
He looks very much like my Puss in Boots, but he's 4 times her size.
I think that's amazing. Well, I want to thank you, too, for sharing with us on animal housekeeping. By the way, how do you keep up your house with all those animals?
Well, duct tape to the carpets.
Duct tape the carpets?
Yeah,
Oh,
to help lift up.
oh, I see. Because they're going to
Buggy's got
shed no
very
matter
fine
what.
coat.
A
Yeah.
lot of carpet rollers on
Lint rollers.
lint rollers on your clothes.
Vacuuming. Luckily, I don't have too much carpet in the house. It's mostly floor, like
Right,
vinyl.
like your vinyl or whatever, yeah. That's easier
But
to
yeah,
keep up.
you know, but yeah,
But you know,
it
I've
works
been.
out.
Yeah, no, your house is fine. I mean, when I go in there, I take my white glove and I look for dust. No, I don't. No, but it's really well kept, and the cats, you know, having cats are really, if it's done right, and you two know, because you were taking care of these animals as you're living for many years, then they're good to have, and they can cheer you up. I notice that sometimes if the cat comes up to me or something, I mean, it just, oh, by the way, there are therapy cats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Therapy cats are just what? Very gentle, loving cats that help people that are bedridden and things like that, or sick
They're very
people.
relaxed, very tolerant.
Even sometimes I had a bad day at work, and there were those few cats that would let you pick them up and cry in their fur if you needed to.
Oh. Yeah, well, I'm sure. Well, you two, you got me going on cats. Cats. At any rate, again, I want to thank you two for doing this, and we'll talk more about animals. We want to do this as a segment now and then, animal housekeeping, and we do appreciate you watching this with us. So now we're just going to cut to another message here from one of our sponsors, Quiz Show Mania, and what's that? You'll see. Mountains in New York are part of what larger mountain region?
Appalachian.
Appalachian is right. Yellow's got that right. What war was known as the War of Independence? Red.
The Revolutionary War.
That's right. American Revolution. That's it. Was Jesse James a women's rights activist or a colonist or a...
Or a what?
Go ahead.
Colonist, the second one.
No. I didn't finish. Go ahead.
Bank robber.
Bank robber's right. That was the one coming up. I didn't finish the list.
Quiz Show Mania is San Diego's best kept secret in live entertainment. Quiz Show Mania. Great for shopping malls, schools, company parties, special events, church groups, team building, and seminars, because it's fun for all ages. Quiz Show Mania will work with you every step of the way to customize your experience and value.
Which of Earth's 5 oceans is the smallest?
Indian?
No.
Red?
No. Arctic.
Quiz Show Mania is San Diego's best kept secret in live entertainment.
And again, that's quizshowmania.com. Quizshowmania.com.
Showmania.com.
What? What is it, Melissa?
Quizshowmania.com.
There you go. Yeah. See, I got free plugs by having them repeat it. Quizshowmania.com. We want you to visit there. Also, we are brought to you by quizshowmania.com, obviously. rcvideoproductions.com. Rich Cruz, who does great work, and you need to visit that site. You'll see a lot of his work, and he has some amazing stuff, and we're glad to have him helping us out here. And, you know, you'll be hearing more about it. rcvideoproductions.com. So we want you to visit those sites, and if you would like to participate with the Round Table Friends, we would like you to go to our participation page. Just visit the roundtablefriends.com. Don't forget the roundtablefriends.com. And I think that's going to do it for us. So we just want to kind of exit with letting you know what we're doing here, and thank everybody for joining us tonight. Melissa and Amy, thanks. Bye.
Bye.